Why do you watch the video part? Just so I can start off with stuff like this and say, hey. Hey. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Stuff I Heard. This is your host, Joshua Peak. Welcome to my world. A lot of stuff going on today. I've been one busy boy. There's some days where you just can't seem to catch up, or if you do catch up, you're like, wow, this all happened so fast. Today was one of those days. I had a lot to get done, and I knew going to bed last night that I was going to wake up early ahead of time. As I was going to bed, I knew that this morning I had to go to the planning committee of our little town of Florence, South Carolina, and pick up my official permit to build a back deck onto my house. Now, I currently have a back deck, and I think I've talked about this before, but in case this is your first time ever listening, I'll inform you. I have a back deck. We built this house back 11 years ago, and through the years, it does have some rain damage, and it needs to be repaired. In the process of thinking about repairing what was damaged, I thought, why don't we just make it bigger in the process? So I ran the idea by my wife, and she thought, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. It sounds simple enough until you realize that you need permits. In our little city, we don't live out in the country. We live not in the city limits, but we live in an area, a community, and we need to get somebody's okay to do that kind of stuff. So I had to go through the permit office and through the clerk of courts to get all of this taken care of by getting a plat, and then going to the permit place to get a permit done. I had to draw plans. I had to get a piece of paper from them and take it to the tax assessor's office, and then take it to the clerk of courts and pay money. All in total, it's been like $86.50 so far. That was just to get the piece of paper saying that I could do it. Now, when she handed me the piece of paper back, she said, this is it, you're good. And I was like, cool, I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of it. But then I got a phone call while I was at work Monday saying, hi, my name is, whatever. And I'm the guy that you need to get in contact with down here at the permit office. I have your permit to give you. And I thought, oh, okay. I thought about it real quickly, and I thought, well, they did just give me, I guess, basically a receipt, and I need to go get the actual official permit, which is not a big deal. And he's like, and I need to go over some few things. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. This is where it comes down. This is where he's going to tell me I can't do it. And that wasn't the case. Basically, there's just some regulations that they want to go by to make sure that you're not building a death trap on your back area and you're going to get somebody hurt in the process. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. I guess in a way I agree with it, because I mean, yes, you can get somebody hurt if you don't know what you're doing and you do it wrong or whatever. But like, one of the things is the slats that go vertically according to the structure of how they want it done has to be smaller than 4 inches. A 4-inch sphere can't fit through the openings in the sides. Really? Are they going to come out? I think in reality they are going to come out with a sphere, and he's going to try and poke it through all the holes, and if it fits through the hole, he's going to go, nope, this isn't code. You got to fix this part. So whatever. I know from experience that a 2x4 is not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. It's actually smaller. If you measure it, it's only like 1 3/4 inch by 3 and a little over a half. So technically, if you use a 2x4 and you hold it up at spacing, that should be fine to have it less than 4 inches in diameter from each other. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. This is a lot going to have to do with what my dad knows, and also this booklet. The guy did give me a booklet. He flipped through pages and showed me the kind of regulations of what's going to be done. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do what I want to do. In the process, I'm supposed to build a pergola, or I want to build a pergola, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to build a pergola. I don't know that structurally I'll want to go through the process once we get to that point. I'm nervous about it, to be honest, because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm sure Dad will show up and he'll be like, it's no big deal, buddy. All you gotta do is this. And that's great. I need that knowledge, and I need his confidence, and I need his ability to help me bring all this together, because I really don't know what I'm doing. And Dad does. Dad's, you know, built things before with ease. And I'm sure for him, he's going to be like, oh, I got to do this, buddy. It's no big deal. And meanwhile, my brain is ramped up to the highest setting because I'm overthinking everything, and I got everything in fast forward motion about the worst possible scenario of some guy coming along once we got it all built and going, nope, this isn't going to work. Take it all down. And then I'll have to bury him in my backyard and explain why his car is parked out front, and it's going to be really awkward. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. People take you seriously nowadays. You got to explain everything. But anyway, I do need to do some prep work, and I did learn that in the process, I have to have the holes dug for the post to go in the ground, and they have to be within a certain regulation, which I got to go through the book and figure all that out, and have the holes dug and the post ready to go with some Quikrete, and I need to call the permit guy the day before so that he can come out and do an inspection. Now, here's the inside baseball is, let's just say I'm expecting Dad on Wednesday, and I want to get started making things happen. We can't do that until this inspection guy goes, yeah, these are in the right place and you're doing the right thing, and now you can start. So that means that I need to have the holes dug and ready to go, and it be where it's supposed to be and in regulation. And then I make the phone call on, say, Tuesday, because I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the guy shows up on Tuesday or on Wednesday. Hopefully that works out like planned. And then we go through the process. He checks us off, and then we can start building the thing. Hopefully. Now, hopefully all of this comes together that way. Fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to happen that way, but I'm hopeful that's what happens. I still haven't talked to Dad about this. He's on a little mini vacation right now with some friends, and you guys are probably going to see that on his YouTube page. He'll update pictures, and you'll be like, oh my God, look at him, he's having so much fun. And he is. Good for him. He deserves it, and he's worked hard enough for it. But anywho, I'm going to pause you guys for just a second. Hold on. You guys still there? Okay, cool. All right, so we're back. I had a phone call regarding the homeowners association thing I was just talking about. So the saga continues. I don't know what I got to do to make this happen, but I'm going to try. I really, really now wish I'd have built out in the country where I don't have to worry about a bunch of people going, yeah, you can do that. But whatever, I get it. Deep breath, Josh. Take your time. It'll be fine. There's no hurry. That's what I gotta remind myself. You know, I keep getting in my own head about these things, about, you know, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do this. Sometimes you can just slow down. I mean, sometimes you have to slow down. And this may be one of those situations. I don't know yet. I got to talk to this guy who's supposed to be the president of our HOA and find out for sure from him what I got to do. Because, I don't know. It's my backyard. Who gives a rat's ass? I mean, I got the permit from the city. You'd think that they would be fine with it and they would go, yeah, go ahead. Whatever, man. Good job. But we'll see. We will see. We shall see. I'm hoping this worked. I hit pause and I added it to the segment, and then I started recording again. So I hope this comes through. If it doesn't, you guys are going to be like, wait, where's the other part? So hopefully this works. This anchor thing is kind of, I don't know. When it works great. When it doesn't work, it's like you lost everything. You don't really know why. I'm sure that they're a new app, and I'm sure that they're developing, and I'm sure they're still trying to figure it all out too. So not anything really is out there without its own quirks. I would like to talk a little bit about Joe Rogan's new special on Netflix. He's got one called Strange Times. It's pretty doggone funny. I watched it last night, and it was great. I liked it. If you're easily offended, don't watch it. If you're someone who's not easily offended and you like to hear the opinions of other people and you like to see their funny take on things, then watch it. It's fun. I had a good time watching it. If you're not into bad language, don't watch it. If you're into someone talking to you like a grown-up, then enjoy it. See what I'm getting at here? There's kind of a thing with Joe. Joe's going to tell you what he thinks, and sometimes it's an unpopular opinion, but he's going to find the comedy in it. And he even says on the special, look, I don't believe these things. I just say it because I'm trying to make you people laugh. So, anyway, I enjoyed it. I also watched Joe's podcast on YouTube. It's called The Joe Rogan Experience, where him and Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Ari Shaffir, and possibly Doug Stanhope with an altered version of this are in a thing in October called Sober October, or as they like to call it, Sober Octobert, because apparently there's a thing called Sober October and people normally do it. But they wanted to make it their own, so they kind of named it after Bert because it originally started because they were trying to get Bert to stop drinking as much. And it's actually worked. But they had a challenge last year to be sober for the month. No booze, no pills, no marijuana. And they challenged each other to do 15 hot yoga classes. And after it was over, like, they hung out and partied again and got back to normal. And they all talked about what it felt like to go through that together as friends and sort of as competitors, because if somebody didn't follow through with the 15 hot yogas, or if they had a drink or smoked weed or whatever during that time, then they lost the bet, and apparently there was a penalty for whoever lost the bet. So this year they're doing the challenge, and in there they're also doing this thing with the company called MyZone, which I haven't even looked them up yet, but apparently it monitors somehow it monitors your work output. So whenever you're doing something, like it not only counts your calories that you burn, but the effort that you put through burning those calories. So, and it gives you points based on that. And they have a thing where there's going to be a thing at the end of the month where whoever has the most points wins a prize, and then the other guys have to pay for them to do something. And Ari wants some kind of shame punishment for whoever comes in last, something really gross. But it's funny and it's fun, and it's, at least it sounds fun. I'm not real crazy about the shame or punishment thing at the end. Although it is motivation for some people. If you have a negative motivation, it's sort of the carrot and the stick. If you're chasing the carrot, some people really respond to that. If you have a stick whacking you, then you respond to that. So maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe Ari needs that kind of thing to motivate him to do something. Maybe he doesn't want the reward. He just wants the punishment if he doesn't follow through, or the fear of it, I should say. But anyway, they're doing that this month. Doug Stanhope has sort of been a career alcoholic comedian for a while, functioning alcoholic comedian for a while, I should clarify. He's a hilarious comedian, but he is an alcoholic. He admits that he's an alcoholic. He's had a very rough life and has just decided that that's just how he's going to live his life. Well, he heard them doing this last year, and he commented on their podcasts over the year that he wouldn't mind doing it this year. So he's going to do it through his doctor, who's going to wean him off of the alcohol so that he doesn't die. Because apparently if you just quit drinking, you can die because your body depends on it. I think that's what happened to Amy Winehouse. This is called the Stuff I Heard podcast, by the way, so this is stuff I heard. I think that's what happened to Amy Winehouse. She wanted to quit drinking, and she quit cold turkey and just went into seizure mode and died. So they're trying not to kill Doug. But jokingly, Joe said he wants to kill Bert just because Bert keeps talking shit about how he's going to outwork Joe. And Joe's like, shh, you don't understand. I work out on a totally different level than you guys. I am going to kill this competition. This is in my wheelhouse. And he's right. If you ever catch a glimpse of Joe Rogan's YouTube page or his Instagram, there's videos of him working out, and he has maximum effort all the time. Apparently every time he works out. So far online, his MyZone numbers that he's posted on Instagram is like 98% output, which is, all effort, just total what he calls explosivity. And I don't know that Bert matches that. Bert has a lot of effort. He has a lot of heart. He does have the Mickey Mantle gene, as he jokes about. And he said that if it comes down to it, he'll run a marathon on the last day if he has to. I wouldn't put it past him to do that just to win something out of this. But Bert's situation is very different. They're different men. They're both funny men, but they're different men. And I like the fact that they're friends, and I like the fact that I get to watch them on YouTube. I like the fact that I get to listen to them on podcasts. And I watched it on YouTube. I made my wife watch it with me. She was, of course, not thrilled about it. It's not her cup of tea. But I made her watch it with me, and I laughed during most of it. Because they always have their group getting around talking about things, and then Joe's got his assistant, young Jamie, and he's like, Jamie, pull that up. And of course on the screen you're looking at it, and this little bubble pops up over here in the corner, and it'll have like, this is what you're looking at, and it just adds something to the show. I've said in the past that I want to get to that point eventually, but at the rate I'm going, I think that it's going to be me doing it. I'm going to be like, hey, why don't I pull that up, and then I'll figure out some way of doing it, and because I'm doing all this right now by myself, so why change it up, right? If you get something that works, keep doing it. I don't know, is this working? Is it? Are you guys paying attention? Does anyone care? I kind of feel like I don't know, I had some numbers in the beginning that I literally have some podcasts that are over 500 downloads. I have some that are around 1,200 downloads. That's awesome. I don't know what I spoke about then to get people's attention, but here lately it's 20, 30, 50, whatever. I heard a guy say once on YouTube, he was talking about numbers, and he said, this is how YouTube monetizes. He says, I'm what they considered one of their earners. And he's like, for every, he said, let's say you put what did he say? Let's put a 10-minute video out there. And he said, let's say that video is 10 minutes, so you have 2 ad breaks, potentially. And he said, let's say 250,000 people watch that 10-minute video all the way through. If that happens, that's $4,000, basically. He said, that's basically the monetization. So you look at someone like Casey Neistat, who almost every video is close to 15 minutes long, and he has over 10.5 million subscribers. Let's do the math on that. Yeah. I mean, Joe puts out a podcast, and immediately it's a 3-hour process of I watched over 3 hours of him talking to Bert and Tom Segura, and had at one time Bert was holding up his phone talking to Ari on the speakerphone. They were all just BSing together. But I'm thinking, this video alone today has over 100,000 views, and it came out that day, and it's 3 hours. So yeah, think about that. Think about that. I ordered a camera. I want to talk about that. GoPro has this new GoPro Hero 7. They have different versions. They have a white, a silver, and a black. The GoPro 7 white just looks like a newer GoPro, and it's white. The GoPro silver looks silver. I really don't know if they do anything different. The GoPro Hero Black has something called hyper stabilization, which basically, if you watch Casey's video talking about the GoPro 7, which came out last week, he does a behind the scenes version of it where he wears a chest mounted holder and mounts the GoPro on his chest and rides a BMX bike downhill over jumps and bumps and all kinds of stuff. And he does an example of it with the hyper smooth on and one with it off. And with it off, your video looks like it's just chaos. It's bouncing all around. It's what most videos look like. If you notice people filming something as they're walking, the video kind of moves with their steps. This hyper smooth thing with this GoPro 7, they call it the gimbal killer. The gimbal killer. Spit it out, Josh. The gimbal killer. A gimbal is that 3-axis thing that you see a lot of people attach their stuff to, so that when they take videos, it looks real smooth as it moves. Okay, that's basically what this has built into it. It has a gimbal on built into the camera. So while he's riding this dirt bike thing down this hill, this dirt bicycle, down this hill bouncing around, the video is just smooth. I mean, it is beautiful. Man, I'm like, hey, I want that. I got 2 GoPros. I got a GoPro 4 black, and I got a GoPro 4 Sessions camera. The Sessions camera, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot. It's that little square looking cube thing. I made a video swimming with it, and it's waterproof automatically. It's fun to use. It's simple to use. It was my preferred GoPro. The other one is bigger. It's more of the antiquated style. It is not waterproof, and you have to use that plastic housing thing to do it. And if you use the plastic housing thing to do it, the sound is muffled. It's like, and it's, I mean, it takes great video and great photos, but if you can't hear what's going on, it kind of takes away from the experience, you know what I mean? This 7 has a better microphone, the black has a better microphone, and it has a microphone port on the side, so if you wanted to use an external mic to get better sound, like let's say with a microphone, then you could get better sound that way. So I was like, you know what, let me sell these 2, because there's people out there that still want a good GoPro, and these are good GoPros. And they have a trade-in value online of like $100 if you trade one in. And I thought I could probably get $100 for it, especially if I throw in the memory card. There's people that would pay that, sure. So I asked a guy I was just happened to be sitting next to that day, and the guy was like, yeah, I want to buy it. So I've already got one of them sold. The guy bought the Sessions Cube thing. He hasn't personally picked it up yet. We're supposed to meet up soon to do that. But the other one is for sale. So if you're listening to this and you still want a GoPro and I haven't sold it yet, get in touch with me and maybe we can work something out. I do have the, I think it's a 32 gigabyte memory card in it, and I got the housing things, so, you know, reach out to me. We'll see if we can make something happen. I'm gonna wrap this up. I need to wrap this up. It's just been one of those days. You know, I got all this permit crap done, and I've been brainstorming what to do with that and how to get in touch with the HOA people. And somewhere in the process of the day, I repaired a shutter that was on the front of the house that blew off during the hurricane. I cut the grass. I went to the farmer's market. I picked up mums. I picked up pumpkins. I decorated the front porch area, cleaned everything off. I got magic bands in the mail today, or actually I got one magic band. For some reason Disney only sent us one. We have a trip coming up, and they were like, all right, congratulations, one of you gets to go. And I'm like, wait, where's the other one? Wait, why did we get one? So my wife called and figured it out. They're apparently having some problems with their website. Go figure. One of the biggest companies in the world, and they can't seem to get their website to work worth a crap. I don't know why Disney has a problem handling business. You would think a company as big as they are and as profitable as they are and as concerned about customer service as they are in their parks, that they would do something about their website. They've got the crappiest website. If you go to click on things on their website, half the time they go, sorry, our page has crashed. Really? Really? Or they'll have a picture of Stitch on it. Sorry, Stitch ate your page, try again. Come on, guys, get it together. You're one of the biggest companies in the world that deals with the customers. Your customer service, when it comes to dealing with people personally, is second to none. Fix the website. That's all I'm saying. Fix the website. Please, as a consumer, as someone who spends a lot of money with you guys, please fix the website. Please hire more people on your phone service. When you called up, we called them up today to ask about our bands. My wife was on hold for 40 minutes to talk to somebody. That's a little infuriating when you're spending about $7 grand for a trip. I'm just saying, if you're spending that kind of money on something, you would think there would be a phone line that you could call and someone would answer the phone and be like, hey, how can I help you? I mean, you know, some little things to think about. If anybody from Disney's listening, I doubt anybody gives a crap, and then if anybody does hear this, they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, dude. We still got your money, sucker. Which is probably the case, and you know, so be it. I also had lunch today at King Jefe. Again, not an official sponsor, but I highly recommend if you're ever in Florence, South Carolina, go check out King Jefe. It's Jefe, Jefe. They're downtown. They have a parking garage built right beside them. Park in the little parking garage and walk over. Fantastic food. I had the Cali bowl today with no rice, extra guacamole on the side. I asked for it on the side because if you ever ask for it like with it, they just put you some in it and they don't really give you a lot. If you ask for it on the side, you get a little to-go or one of those little dipping cup things, and they take it like an ice cream scooper and scoop it and stick it in there. You're paying $2.75 for extra guac. You should get extra guac. And that's how you get it. You ask for it on the side, and then you get the whole cup, and then you dump the whole cup back into the bowl you wanted, salt it, pepper it, mix it all up. You're getting all the fats, all the good stuff from the keto. Oh, which reminds me, this is stuff I heard, right? Okay, so you guys have heard me talk in the past about my buddy Dale, lives up in Maine. Dale is just doing great with his keto diet, by the way. He put a picture of himself on Facebook recently, and I was like, holy cow, dude, you look fantastic. Dale is 6'2", and it's no secret. He put it on Facebook. April 1st, he was 365 pounds. This is a picture of him with his granddaughter. I'm showing this to the video part of it. If you don't watch the video part of it, you're missing out on some of this. Okay, that was April 21st. Today, or October 1st, he weighed 240 pounds. That's 125 pounds that he's lost. And he looks fantastic. Dale, if you're listening, buddy, I am so proud of you. You are doing awesome, man. You're an inspiration. And he and I texted back and forth. I wrote him and I was like, yeah, I want to talk about this and I want to share your story and I want to tell everybody else. If they haven't looked into keto, look into keto. Keto. It's just high fats, no sugar, low carbs. I'm consuming less than 20 carbs a day, no sugar. Some things have trace amounts of sugar, but look, if you use MyFitnessPal and you keep track of how much sugar and carbs you're eating a day, if you just do the math of going, what if I had less? What if you had less? That's how Dale went from 365 pounds to 240. That's how I went from 258 to 226. That's how my brother went from 303 to 220. It's just cutting out the extra crap in your body that you don't need. You don't need carbs. You don't need sugar. You need fatty meat. You need some vegetables. A lot of water. Drink water. Agua is your friend. But that's it. That's it. I got nothing for you people. What do you want from me? You guys aren't doing your own podcast. I know Josh West isn't doing a podcast. If anybody knows Josh West, please reach out to Josh West and say, Josh West, where is your damn podcast? Because Josh West still hasn't put out his podcast. And I got tired of writing him. I was like, dude, really? You've been talking about this forever. I told you he was going to do this. I told you he was going to talk himself out of doing it. He's going to be like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that and I'm not going to do this. Follow through, dude. Make it happen. Again, if you know him, reach out to him, give him some crap, tell him to do it. What else? What else is there? Oh, South Carolina Gamecocks. Okay, so football's back in session. And I feel like I'm in an episode of Waterboy where, was it Rob Schneider's in the background and he's like, oh great, we suck again. Yeah, it's that kind of season. I don't know what the problem is there. I don't know if it's coaching. It has to be coaching. At the end of the day, if your team looks like garbage, then it's preparation. It's plans, it's follow through, it's everything that you're supposed to do as a coach isn't happening. Now, I think that Will Muschamp is a great recruiter. I think that he can spot talent. I don't know that he's a head coach. I really don't see it. He's just missing something. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people out there like that. There's plenty of people that are good at a specific thing, but they don't know that they're only good at a specific thing until they fail again and again trying something else. He's good at recruiting. That's about it. Their quarterback got hurt. He's definitely injured. He was hopping around on one foot throwing the ball. Our wide receivers didn't want to catch the ball because they had probably 12 catches that hit their hands or hit them in the head. And they just wouldn't close the hands around the ball. So unless Kentucky was on the sidelines greasing it up every time South Carolina held it, then that's what's going on. So it's going to be another season of listening to all the Clemson fans around here going nuts about their stupid team. And I'm happy for you guys. I mean, you know, y'all are a little college and you're kicking a lot of people's ass, and good for you. Now granted, you struggled with a unranked Connecticut UConn team, or no, Syracuse, excuse me, unranked Syracuse team. Probably shouldn't have struggled like you did. You barely pulled it off. You rushed the field after you beat an unranked team. That was kind of unexpected. But yeah, y'all are having success. Good, great, awesome. I don't care. I really don't care. You know the one team that has success that I don't think anybody minds them having success is the Cleveland Browns. If you watch the Cleveland Browns, I think that if Cleveland actually made it to the Super Bowl and beat another team, even the other team would be like, all right, that's cool. They you know, it's Cleveland. I mean, if you're any fan of any team and you see Cleveland on the schedule, you go, you know, if they win one, it's okay. It's okay. They're sort of like the weird neighbor kid that wants to play with you, but he's just uncoordinated and really doesn't have any friends. And you're sort of like, I kind of, like if you're playing like wiffle ball or something, you're like, I kind of hope he gets a home run, even if it's against you, because you're like, he needs a win. Yeah, that's sort of like the Cleveland Browns right now. That's sort of like the Gamecocks. I'm sure that even Clemson is like, I want to see him win one. I mean, it'd be nice to play him and they have a winning schedule. And it would. That'd be awesome. We're not going to have that. Not this year. I don't know how Cleveland does it. I don't know how they keep upbeat all the time. This could be our year. It'd be like being a Cubs fan. This could be our year. Maybe that's the fate of being a Gamecocks fan. I don't know what made me decide to be a Gamecocks fan. If it was my buddy Jay Darnell or hanging out with the wrong crowd. I don't know. Right now, a lot of people are like, hey, what the hell? That's me, making friends, influencing people. All right, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. That's it, I'm out. You guys take care. Wish me luck on this whole HOA thing. And if everything works out, you're gonna see some videos and some building being done. Bye now.